जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरांगो गांधर्विका गिरिधारी जीव की जय। जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरांगो श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन पंचतत्त्वात्मक श्री गौर हरि की जय। जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरांगो श्री श्री राधा नयननाथ जीव की जय। जय श्री गौर नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। जय श्री जगन्नाथ देव की जय। जय नित्यलीला परिस्तोम विष्णुपाद परमहंसाष्टतर सचशिला भक्ति वल्लभ तीर्थ गोसाई महाराज की जय। जय नित्यलीला परिस्तोम विष्णुपाद परमहंसाष्टतर सचशिला भक्ति दैता माधव गोसाई महाराज की जय। जय नित्यलीला परिस्तोम विष्णुपाद परमहंसाष्टतर सचशिला भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जय। जय परमहंसा शिला गौर किशोर दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय। जय शिशिला सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। जय वैष्णव सार्वभौम शिला जगन्नाथ दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय। जय श्री रूपानुग गुरुवर की जय। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री वसदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। जय श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपी गो गोवर्धन वृंदावन श्री राधा कुंद श्याम कुंदात्मक श्री ब्रज मंदिर की जय। जय श्री नवद्वीप धाम की जय। जय श्री पुरुषोत्तम धाम की जय। जय श्री बलदेव सुभद्रा जगन्नाथ श्री सुदर्शन चक्र जीव की जय। जय श्री वृंदा देवी तुलसी देवी की जय। जय सर्वविघ्न विनाशनकारी श्री नृसिंह देव की जय। जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। जय समागत भक्त वृंद की जय। जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। गौर परमानंदे हरि बोल। वंदे हम श्री गुरो श्री जुता पदकमला श्री गुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्री रूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितंश्च श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hari Bol, 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 Hari Bol. Yesterday, at the end of program after Jayadvani, I remembered that I forgot to say one thing, that for Kartik Vrata in Gaudiya Math, there is also prescription of daily Nagar Sankirtan. If Kartik Vrata is done in some city, then Nagar Sankirtan means Sankirtan throughout the city. Or if it is in Dham, like in Mayapur Dham, then we do parikrama daily around our Radha Kund and Sham Kund. And on first day and last day, we go with parikrama to Shiva Mandir near Ghat. And in Brindavan also there is some short parikramas daily during Kartik. That is also one of the program. And yesterday I told that for the purpose of Kirtan and Smaran, we are following, according to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur's instruction, we are following Bhajan Rahasya book of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, he wrote one introduction to explain what is meant here by this word bhajan in this connection. Because words can have many meanings according to context. So here, what is the secret of bhajan? What kind of bhajan is meant? So our Gurudev translated this into English, and he said it is very important to understand this point. Before Kartik Vrata, we should go through this and understand it. Rahasya Pragbandha. Prior obligatory regulation for being eligible, means qualified, to realize ontological mystery of bhajan, or secret of bhajan, mystery. That is by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur. Shri Bhajan Rahasya book is compiled by revered Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He has shown a few hints about his own mode of worship in the form of a book as an instance to his own devoted followers. So here there are only some verses. When pure devotees, they will meditate, there is so many, but only as a hint to show by his own example for his own followers, he gave some selected verses in relation to the Shikastaka verses. Few hints. I, means Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, being an insignificant person, observed him a few years before. overwhelmed with transcendental divine love, while relishing several scriptural verses incessantly in this way. Prabhupada was always with Bhaktivinoda Thakur and he observed him, his bhajan, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur also wrote in that song, Bhakti Vinoda Rohi Surabi Ki Kunje, Arati Darashane Prema Sukha Bunje. He was always in the bliss of prema, or transcendental divine love, overwhelmed by that prema and relishing these verses. So Prabhupada observed him. And there are stages of advancement of pure devotion. First stage, Kanishta. Second, higher stage, Madhyam, or middle stage. And third, or highest stage, is Uttam. Accurate understanding of the words Kanishta, Madhyam, and Uttam is necessary for proper realization of the ontological mystery of bhajan as expounded or interpreted by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur. This is a note given by our Gurudev because now Prabhupada will say certain things. So first we have to know who is Kanishta Adhikari, who is Madhyam Adhikari, and who is Uttam Adhikari. In between, I will say. Provision for archan, or worship of deities, is recommended in the domain of pure devotion in consideration of the eligibility or qualification of the devoutness of Kanishta devotee. You will find in Srimad Bhagavatam definition of Kanishta Adhikari is one who has firm faith in the eternal deity form of Supreme Lord, and with great faith he is worshipping. But he is not worshipping devotees. So his conception is not fully pure, but he is on the path of pure devotion. He is not Mayavadi, Jnani, Yogi, or Karmi like this. No, he has faith in Supreme Lord. He knows about his eternal sambandha with Supreme Lord, and he worships him with faith, but on that level of realization, he is not seeing Krishna with his full paraphernalia. So, for them, it is recommended to worship deity. That is first advanced stage of devotion. Many votaries, that means practitioners, being unable to reflect upon the distinction between archan and bhajan, indicate the words to be the same, as archan is bhajan. Those who are Kanishta Adhikaris, they are unable to understand what is the difference between archan and bhajan in this context. They say archan is bhajan, archan is worship, bhajan. They say like this. When bhajan is possible on the basis of 9 forms of devotion, this word bhajan is possible on the basis of 9 forms of devotion, and as archan is included within it, archan should be accepted as bhajan. That is their idea. Prahlad Maharaj told in Bhagavatam 9 forms of devotion: Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Archanam, Bandhanam, Padasevanam, yes, Padasevanam, then Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Bandhanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. So, bhajan means worship of Supreme Lord. So, archan is one limb of devotion. So, this is bhajan. That is their idea. And also it is not wrong. It is bhajan, but not in this context. We have heard just now the example of archan bhakti is Prithu Maharaj. He got perfection just by Archan. Prahlad Maharaj only by Smaran. So they think Archan is bhajan. Then further Prabhupada is telling, total bhajan and practice of one form of bhajan, at least of the aforesaid first advanced stage of devotion, should not be considered to indicate the same significance. When one Kanishta Adhikari performs Archan on his level of qualification, realization, that is not the same as total bhajan, which will be explained now what is meant by total bhajan or bhajan in this context. There are two kinds of worship. One, worship of deities with the help of articles and with reverence is Archan. We are offering flowers, scent, food, incense, dhoop, the 16 or 54, the articles, or 5, 10, 12, depends what kind of puja you are doing. And with open reverence. He is Supreme Lord, I am His eternal servant. I should worship Him, it is my duty, otherwise I will suffer. Like this is in Vaidhi mark, this kind of mood is there, this kind of relationship. Then second kind of worship, service of the object of worship with the feeling of eternal, sweet, delightful relation. That is, delightful relation between devotee and devoted, means Krishna, as bosom friends, very intimate friends, sweet parental affection, without the obstruction of fear and reverence, etc., are referred to as prema. That in Braja Dham, in Vrindavan, devotees, they are not thinking Krishna is Supreme Lord, but they have intimate, sweet, delightful relation with Him as friends, and they are thinking you are equal to us, Krishna. And they are climbing on His shoulders, they are fighting with Him, they are tasting the food before giving to Him, if it is good or not. And Jashoda, she is sometimes beating Krishna, wants to tie Him, out of love for Him. They are not thinking He is God. Nanda Jashoda never bowed down to Krishna. But where there was some knowledge of His Godhood, the Vasudeva and Devaki, they bowed down to Krishna. That is why here Gurudev wrote, sweet parental affection. There are many parental affection, like Dasharat also has to Ramchandra, Kaushalya, then Devaki, Vasudeva, but that is different than in Brajadham. Jashoda has pure love. She's thinking he's my little boy. Nanda Maharaj also. Nanda Maharaj orders Krishna, you bring my slippers here. And Krishna puts those slippers on his head and brings them. And also other relations, 5 in Brajadham, that is called as prema. There is a gulf of difference, means big difference, between these two ways of service of the object of worship. Archan is connected with the worship of deity with reverence. Without, that is Archan. Without sweet, delightful, eternal relation, there cannot be total service of the highest objective, Supreme Lord. Those who have realized there that in Brajadham, what kind of relation they have with Krishna, from that relation they can have total bhajan. But one who is on that prior stage, when he is believing God deity and is worshipping it awe and reverence with the help of articles of this world, that is prior stage, and that cannot be called as total bhajan or bhajan in this context, like Bhajan Rahasya book. Worship of deity or Supreme Lord in consideration of his appearance in this world with articles and reverence is termed archan. When we understand deity is appearance of Supreme Lord and we offer him articles of this world, and with this mood he is God, I have to serve him, it is my duty, that is archan. But now this will be a little difficult sentence, but after I will explain what is meant. Although in spite of the cognition of the dimness of the scorching rays of reverential majestic worship in this world, excellence of the sweetness of the service of the deity with delightful charming love relation, like pleasant moonlight, cannot be denied. A brief method of worshipping or archan is annexed to the appendix of the book. Means, though archan is with awe and reverence, this relation, he is God, I am his eternal servant. But those who have realized the eternal sweet delightful relation with Krishna, I am his friend, I am his beloved, I am his mother, like this, they also can worship deity with that kind of mood. There is a scorching ray of awe and reverence. But if you have that realization of intimate, sweet, delightful relation, there is also pleasant moonlight in the worship of deity. So that cannot be denied. That is why Bhaktivinoda Thakur also, for those who are on a Raga Mark platform, those who have realized that relationship, how they will worship deity, he also gave at the end of the book, he gave archan procedure for such devotees on that platform, like Sanatana Goswami. He was writing books and doing other services, and he established the worship of Madan Mohan. He got it. Then he offered just like one atta, that flour, wheat flour, and he mixed it little with water, even not making proper chapati, just like a ball, almost like ball, and he threw it in the fire and he offered to Krishna and water. Then he was doing like this. Then after some days, Madan Mohan told him, can you at least put some salt in that chapati? I am unable to eat. Can you at least put some salt inside? Then Sanatana Goswami became a little lovingly angry, said, I have no time, I have no things. What did you expect, that I will serve you like a king? I I don't have nothing. And today you are saying you want salt, then tomorrow you will say I want sabji, then you will say I want kheer, I want this. How I will do this, all these things? So that loving relation they are having, that is also possible. Then gradually Sanatana Goswami organized for Madan Mohan with some devotees that kind of worship. But the point is, like Lokanath Goswami, he had Radha Binod Diti. They appeared to him by themselves, and he was worshipping in a very simple way with leaves. He was fanning and putting on bed of leaves, and he kept in his bag around the neck. That is a sweet kind of deity worship, not with awe and reverence. So those who are on that platform, they are also doing archan of some kind, but that is on different platform. So that kind of archan also Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave at the end there. So that is in the appendix of the book, at the end of the book. The underlying implication of bhajan is stated in the body of the book. Those 8 chapters, they are speaking about bhajan. Now it will be explained. Relation with gross and subtle bodies is more or less involved in archan, while in the domain of bhajan, the devotee is directly in contact with the object of devotion, Supreme Lord Bhagavan, who is beyond gross and subtle bodies, and is the indwelling monitor residing in the hearts of all embodied souls. Those devotees who are still not self-realized, but they have faith in Supreme Lord and in his deity form, and they are doing archan, means worship of deity with articles of this sort and reverence. They are on that platform. They are still not on transcendental platform in realizing their eternal Swarup or Siddhadeha. And their vision of deity is also not fully on transcendental vision. They have faith, this is Supreme Lord, and they will worship. But their vision is not, they are not seeing the actual Swarup, transcendental Swarup of deity at that time. Wait, I will turn off notification, I forgot. Then further, a true devoted soul is well established in his real self and is completely liberated from all non-eternal material denominations. His cognitions of sense organs are spiritual, beyond the thought of material range. But those who are realized souls, truly devoted soul, they are well established. They are not practicing, but means they have realized. They are well established in his real self, and he is fully liberated from all upadhis, means worldly egos. I'm man, I'm woman, I'm engineer, I'm doctor, I'm poor, I'm or no. They are fully beyond all worldly egos, gross and subtle, pertaining to mind, intelligence, and ego. Also, that ego they don't have. They are fully in realization of who they are as a soul, and in what kind of relation, what kind of form, manjari or saka or like this, they fully realize that. And their perception is fully spiritual. No material barrier there. Because they are fully devoted to Krishna, this body and everything is spiritualized, and they are having their spiritual eyes open from their real self. So they can see the truth as it is, no any filter of mic perception. So they can see spiritual objects beyond the thought of material range. That is different realm. We cannot perceive with these limited material senses. As they are always directly in contact with absolute knowledge, who is transcendental, means Supreme Lord Krishna, they are always engaged in transcendental service of the divinity. They are on transcendental platform. They can see their real self. They can see Supreme Lord, directly in contact with him. And their eternal relation, they feel. So because of that, they are constantly engaged in the service of Krishna. They have no any other desire or any other engagement. Only service of Krishna. There was Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. 2 disciples came and he engaged them to work in the garden. Then they were in Vrindavan. Then they were very much aggrieved and they approached Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Our Gurudev gave us this work in the garden, but we left our house. We thought we will come here to Vrindavan, we will do bhajan, we will chant here Bhagavatam, but why he's telling us to work in the garden? Why he's not engaging us in bhajan? Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, oh, he gave you this service. You are so fortunate. You should know that Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Gurudev, he is personal associate of Krishna. He is in direct contact with Krishna. And he knows everything. He knows that now your senses are not under your control. So if he tells you, and your mind is not under control, if he tells you just sit down and chant or hear Bhagavatam, you will not be able to get real attention to that service, and it will not be appropriate for you at this time. That is why he wants to engage your energy of your senses for the service of Krishna, because he is directly engaged in it. That is not material garden something. That is, he will use those vegetables for the service of Krishna. In this way, he wants to use your energy for the service of Krishna and to make you qualified for chanting real name and hearing real Bhagavatam, because he sees your qualification now. So you should not be aggrieved. This is, he is engaging you in the service of Krishna according to your present qualification. Gradually, when you will be more qualified, then he will engage you in those. But while working in the garden, also he told you, you should chant Harinam all the time. Not with mala. Mala, some rounds is fixed chanting. But when you are doing in garden, that time to chant while doing that work. So there are some souls who are in direct contact with Krishna. So this same Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, when Bhaktivinoda Thakur brought him to the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then though Babaji Maharaj was 125 years old, he could not walk, he could not even see, he had to open his eyes with like this, with fingers. But that time, he jumped out of that basket, one devotee was carrying him, and he started dancing and jumping. All were surprised. How this is Babaji Maharaj cannot walk, how he is dancing now. Then they asked him, Babaji Maharaj, what happened? What happened? Then he said, you don't see? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with his associates, he is doing kirtan here. Jai Sachinandan Gaur Hari, Jai Sachinandan Gaur Hari, so chanting. Others could not see, but he could see, because of direct connection. Or Banshidas Babaji also saw Mahaprabhu coming, stealing his pot, and then after some time again bringing back. Gorkishore Das Babaji also. All realized souls, they have such direct contact. So if we can be under them in the service of Krishna, then our energy will really be utilized for the service of Krishna. Speciality of the instructive object of Guru is considered rahasya or mystery. Means no one has access to that, which can only be comprehended by persons who have got firm faith and confidence. Only those who will surrender to Guru, they can understand what Gurudev is saying. Not everyone can know, because that is mystery. Krishna told in Gita, what is night for materialist is day for transcendentalist. And what is night for transcendentalist is day for materialist. They cannot understand. Materialists, they cannot understand what transcendentalists they are seeing. So what Gurudev is instructing, that cannot be understood by just anyone. Those who will surrender, they can understand that he is instructing for the service of Krishna, what Krishna wants from us. Truly following the path of bona fide sadhus. Sadhu means devotee. Association of whom can be achieved only by the fruits of serving the third advanced stage of highest devotees, who have received instructions of Krishna Bhakti after practicing the list of sadhana bhakti mentioned in Sri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, is actual bhajan rahasya, mystery of bhajan. Now this is, we have to understand, I will explain now. There are three stages: sadhana bhakti, bhava bhakti, and prema bhakti. Later in this bhajan rahasya also we can understand that on the 6th verse of Shikastaka, that is corresponding to bhava stage, there one is established in his swarup, eternal real self in relation to Krishna, and he's on transcendental platform, this direct knowledge. So from there bhajan starts. In this context, this bhajan means on transcendental platform, that a direct service of Krishna in Lila from your Siddha Deha, that is called bhajan, and that will start on bhava stage. So those who did sadhana bhakti and achieved completion of sadhana bhakti, that bhava bhakti appeared in their heart, what instruction they get at that time for the service of Krishna, that means Lila Seva of Ashtakali Lila, following them, those devotees, that is bhajan rahasya, is mystery of bhajan. Sadhana bhakti you can see outside, he is bowing down, he is offering flowers, he is chanting the name, he is speaking Harikatha, we can see. But that internal seva on transcendental platform, he is doing from his own Siddha Swarup, assisting Radharani, or according to his rasa, what he is doing inside, that we cannot see from outside. And they are doing 24 hours. So that is bhajan. And following that bhajan is bhajan rahasya. But it is not for all. You have to become eligible. Sadhana bhakti means what? Kriti sadhya bhavet sadhya bhava sasadhana bidha. Nityasya dasya bhavasya prakatam hridi sadhyata. When you engage your senses under the guidance of bona fide Guru for the service of Krishna, with the view or with the target, with the goal of getting bhava bhakti, that is called sadhana bhakti. And this sadhana bhakti will nitya siddhasya bhavasya prakatam hridi sadhana. That sadhana bhakti will awaken or manifest that eternally perfected devotion to Krishna, which is already present in the heart of every living entity, by instinct, by nature. So sadhana bhakti will make that appear in our heart, eternal devotion. So those who have completed this sadhana course and they have achieved bhava bhakti, what kind of instruction they will get? That Rupa Manjari will say, you make garland for Radharani. Or Rati Manjari will say, you fan now. That kind of instruction, when you get, that is bhajan. On that transcendent, that is bhajan. And following that, that is bhajan rahasya. And only those who are eligible, they will get this from Guru at that time. Yes. Desireless, modest, devout devotee, being fully liberated from worldly entanglement, is completely released from the association of uncongenial persons disinclined to serve Krishna and entrapped with ulterior desires. Means those who are real devotees, they are not associating with non-devotees. As I told, that does not mean like not seeing them, not speaking, no. But it means with love they are not associating with them and for their targets. Or those who have fully renounced this world, like they become Babajis or like this, or sannyasi, they even those who are preachers, they have some contact, but for the purpose of preaching. But the point is, inside, they are not associating with people who have other desires other than the service of Krishna. They are fully liberated from that association. They are completely released from the association of uncongenial persons disinclined to serve Krishna, those who don't want to serve Krishna, and they are full of ulterior desires, means anarthas, other desires. Just then only total service or total bhajan or service of 8 periods of the pastimes of Sri Krishna can be manifested in him. So when you come to that transcendental platform on the bhava stage and you are fully released from all worldly entanglements and bad association, all fully, you are in your own swarup, then at that time this Ashtakali Lila, 8-fold pastimes of Radha Krishna, will manifest in you. And in relation to that Ashtakali Lila, you will see yourself and what is your service according to particular Lila. At the end of night, what is your service? Like we read in Jaiva Dharma, that Sannyasi Thakur, he surrendered to Vaishnavas, and one morning his Gurudev, he saw him in his meditation, and he told him, you are Ramana Manjari, and you see that cockatoo monkey, we will hear about her during Kartik vrata. She wants to make that screaming sound, but that will disturb. So you stop her. That is your duty. You have to stop her. Gopis, they don't allow cockatoo to make that sound at the beginning, because they think that will disturb Radha Krishna. Ultimately, they have to give permission because due to circumstance. This we will hear during Kartik. But the point is, at that time, this was his seva. And then in the morning, when Radharani goes to cook for Krishna in Nandagram, then there is another seva like this. So, total bhajan, total service, 24 hours service in your Siddha Deha, that is possible for liberated devotees. Then this becomes possible. So now you can understand what is Archan and what is Bhajan. Archan is for those who are not on that platform and they have awe and reverence. They are worshipping with articles in this world and you are God like this. But those who have realized on transcendental platform, I am this Manjari and this is my seva, and according to Lila, 24 hours, they will do seva. That is total bhajan. And this book, Bhajan Rahasya, is about that. This was the last book of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, because you will find in Upadeshamrita, Rupa Goswami, at the last verse of Upadeshamrita, he told that if one takes bath in Radhakunda, highest transcendental realm, then he will get that rare prema, that Radha Dasyam, service of Radharani, he will get. Then our Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he explained what here it means bathing in Radhakunda. Not buying flight ticket and taxi and going to Radhakunda, putting gamsha and jumping into Radhakunda and swimming and enjoying and eating rabri like this. No, that is not meaning of bathing in Radhakunda. Bathing in Radhakunda means when you are staying at Radhakunda, that transcendental realm, either physically or in your heart, and externally you are chanting pure Harinam. pure chanting Hare constantly, and within your Siddha Deho, within your real self, you are assisting Radharani in Lila, that is, and spending whole time in this, that is called bathing in Radhakunda. Then you can get that prem. So that is the culmination of sadhana, that is highest. Gradually we can achieve. We should not become sahaja, trying to jump and by imagination think we can get. No, this is not possible. All the steps of Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and in Upadeshamrita we have to follow under the guidance of real Rupanuga, realized soul. Then gradually we can get that. It is there, but it will come through surrender to bona fide Guru and following his instruction. But ultimate form of bhajan in this world will be this. That does not mean that everyone will go to sit at Radhakund. Some get, but Rupa Goswami said, either physically or mentally means in your transcendental platform, in your heart, not mentally with mental speculation, but inside that revelation of Radhakunda is there. And then your Guru Rupa Saki, the Guru in the form of Saki, that all realization will come. And under their guidance to serve Radharani, because if Radharani is the one who can fully satisfy Krishna, no one can satisfy Radharani, can satisfy Krishna as Radharani can do. We heard on Radhashtami, Krishna leaves Ras Lila because Radharani left. No interest there. So, if we serve Radharani, then our energy will be utilized by her for the service of Krishna. Then service of Radharani is actually the highest service of Krishna possible. And also Manjaris, they are not thinking about satisfaction of Krishna. They are thinking only about service of Radharani. But automatically it happens. So they are getting that highest bliss. That is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is most merciful. He came to give this to all. And we can get it by his grace. Service of Radharani is highest type of service of Krishna. Because only Radharani can satisfy Krishna completely, fully. That is why even Krishna desires that Radha Bhav, to realize what she feels and what kind of qualities only she realizes of Krishna by her devotion, and what is the glory of her love. For this reason, Krishna came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to find out that, to realize that. And he distributed to us also that Radha Dasyam, service of Radharani. We also find in Upadeshamrita in 5th verse about different kinds of devotees, Kanishta, Madhyam and Uttam. And there it is mentioned Uttamadhikari is fully free from criticizing anyone, and he's fully established in this, in service of Ashtakalya Lila of Radha Krishna, eightfold pastimes of Radha Krishna from his Swarup, fully established in that. And this is possible only those who are on liberated platform, Bhava stage. Then from Bhava they will enter Prema. Pure devotee who is inclined to serve Sri Krishna always dislikes the association of enjoyers of earthly pleasures or bhogis and renouncers, tyagis, as he knows association of such non-devotees is an obstacle to the achievement of his objective. Bhogis, they want to enjoy worldly pleasures. Tyagis, they think that will give us suffering, so they want to renounce everything and want to merge themselves into impersonal Brahma to be liberated from all worldly contact. But real devotee does not like association of them, because that will not help him achieve the real goal, which is Krishna Prema, service of Krishna. They are not doing that. Such karmis, jnanis, or persons of ulterior desires have got no liking for bhajan rahasya, means for this book or for what pure devotees they are doing inside their heart, that service of Radharani in Lila. They have no liking. They want worldly enjoyment and they want liberation. They don't want service of Krishna. So pure devotee does not take their association. As they have got no eligibility or qualification to enter into the 8 periods of pastimes of Sri Krishna in the transcendental realm, this book, Bhajan Rahasya, cannot become always very appreciated to them. They will not appreciate this book. They lack qualification. They don't have enough sukriti, so their faith in Krishna did not arise, and they did not get such advancement in devotion to understand that there is eternal lila of Krishna. I told yesterday that this Ashtakalya lila, 8-fold pastimes, is happening in Golok Vrindavan, transcendental realm. But when Krishna appears in this material world, he takes birth and grows and kills demons and all these things. So this kind of lila is happening only in this world, killing of demons and Krishna taking birth and growing and then going to Mathura. This is only happening in this world. In Golok Vrindavan there is no birth pastime of Krishna. Only the mood is there that Jashoda is mother of Krishna. And Krishna feels, I am the son of Krishna. There are no demons, there only Ashtakali Lila is going on. And this Ashtakali Lila is described in that book Govinda Lilamrita, and only eligible persons they can read, because they are only Lila. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Chaitanya Shikshamrita, he explained that for sadhakas, it is more beneficial that they should hear this lila which Krishna performs in this world, because there this killing of demons is going on, that is killing of our anarthas, and this childhood pastimes we get that knowledge from Brahma, that through surrender only we can understand Krishna, and so many teachings. So that will be more beneficial for sadhakas. They actually have to meditate on, hear and think of these lilas. And within these lilas, also in this world, this Ashtaka lila is also there within, but along with other lilas. This is Nitya lila, that is Noimitic, this killing demons, all this. And Indra, like lifting Govardhan, this thing. That is not happening in Golok Vrindavan. But everyone knows Krishna lifted Govardhan. But there is no such lila. And Indra, sprite, and so many things. So for us, that is beneficial, and gradually we can come to this Ashtakali Lila and our service of that Ashtakali Lila. This Ashtakali is not for all. This also Bhaktivinoda Thakur told. Even this 10th canto, Krishna Lila, is not for all. That is why we have to start from 1st canto and gradually come to 10th canto by being trained properly in spiritual thought, so that we will not misunderstand Krishna. Brahma also could not understand. That is why during Kartik Vrata, though we are hearing this Ashtakali Lila just to get greed to attain it, we are also hearing this Upadeshamrita, what are the steps we have to practice to achieve that, and Shikastaka, what are the steps, especially 3rd verse, Trinada Pisa Nichana Tarora Pisa Isnana. Without pure chanting, we cannot get that bhajan. And also Gajendra Moksha, he surrendered completely to Krishna. These topics. But those who have achieved, as we will hear there in Bhajan Rahasya, those who have achieved their Siddha Deho in the 6th verse Bhava stage, in them this automatically, naturally appears, this Ashtakali Lila, and in relation you also see yourself. What is your seva? Under whose guidance? That we heard that bhajan. That instruction will come. You bring water from Jamuna, or you mix this camphor with other ingredients. You mix. That Guru in Lila will give that order to you. Like in this world, Guru will say you chant Harinam so many rounds. You attend Arati, you give up this enjoyment, you read, you hear this like this. When we enter that realm, on transcend, there also we'll get service gradually, but for Lila. So, those who are Gyanis, Yogis, Karmis, Anya, Bilasis, non-devotees, they cannot have appreciation for this book. This is devotional book. And this is highest type of devotion, constant devotion in Lila book. Day and night, or 24 hours, is divided into 8 periods. That is in transcendental realm time, not this worldly time. It is different time. That is always present. But there are events, and we cannot understand unless we realize that. So we should not try to imagine what that means, but it is different. One period is stated as yam or jam, if you say in Bengali. Night consists of 3 jams or 3 periods. Day consists of 3 jams or 3 periods. Along with these 6 periods, if dawn and dusk are added, sum total 8 periods. Ashta Kalya. 8 periods. End of night, morning, forenoon, midday, afternoon, evening, dusk, and night. 8 pastimes. It is possible only for a Vaishnava to worship Shri Krishna all the time, in all respects, with profound devoutness, with wrong conception of self, other than the real self eternally related to Shri Krishna. It is not possible to worship Krishna all the time. And here, real self eternally related to Krishna means that intimate, sweet, delightful relation. We can understand Krishna is God, master of everything, owner of everything, creator, who gives punishment, all this, and I am his eternal servant. This is one kind of relation. But with this kind of relation, you cannot enter into Ashtakali Lila of Radha Krishna. There, you have to realize your Siddha Deho. You are Manjari or your Saka or your motherly affection. That you have to realize. So, if someone did not get that realization, but has wrong concept, this body, mind, all, it is not possible for him to worship Krishna all the time. 24 hours in Lila. You need that realization of your eternal relation, sweet, delightful with Krishna. A conditioned soul cannot release him from his engagement if he attributes materiality to all things or articles related to the service of Sri Krishna. That is Gyanis or Mayavadis. They think like this. Whatever we see in this world, that is all Maya, duality. Whatever has form, that is Maya, false. Any personality, all Maya, all this. So they cannot realize that Krishna can appear in this world as deity, and that is form, but unlimited form, And Krishna is a person, infinite person, not limited person. And like Tulsi, Bhagavatam, they are all transcendental. Vaishnavas, Harinam, they cannot realize. They think this is all material. They reject. And they reject a garland offered to Krishna. That article for the worship of Krishna, they think that is also material. So such persons, they cannot be actually rescued from Maya. Impossible. Only one who will surrender to Krishna can be released from Maya, but they are not surrendering to Krishna. They're thinking this is all Maya. Krishna is Maya, articles for worship is Maya, everything Maya. So they cannot be released. But those who are here, Vaishnavas, having the firmness of the realization of their real self, we are eternal servant of Krishna. And what kind of servant of Krishna? Who is Krishna in Vrindavan? Who am I in relation to Krishna? That kind of relation. Are always in worshipful mood, always serving Krishna, a loving mood. They cannot do any action except service of Sri Krishna. Impossible. 8 verses of Shikastaka of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu are in conformity with the pastimes of Sri Krishna of the 8 periods, Ashtayam. Yesterday I told. In this book, Bhajan Rahasya, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he is showing the connection between Shikastaka verse of Mahaprabhu, between the stage of devotion up to Prema, Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Anartha Nibritti, Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava. Then Prema, and Prema has two sides. One is separation, one is union. So these stages, 8 Shikastaka verses and also 8 Leelas of Radha Krishna, they are all in connection. When you practice first verse of Shikastaka properly on that transcendental platform, then at the end of that chapter, then this first Leela will manifest at the end of night. "11 verses of Srila Rupa Goswami and hymns written by his personal associates to increase eagerness of bhajan, conforming to 8 pastimes, will be congenial for incessant bhajan." As I told yesterday, one meaning of these 11 verses means this Rupa Goswami's Upadeshamrita. There are 11 verses. Vacha Vega Manasa Krodha, how to practice. Up to Radha Kunda, means the service of Radharani. Or it can mean Rupa Goswami wrote 11 verses explaining that Ashtakala Lila, and also hymns, songs written by personal associate of Rupa Goswami, like Raghunath Das Goswami, Narottam Thakur, the Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he wrote those songs. So these songs also will be congenial, favorable. That is why we are, during Kartik Vrata, we are singing these songs of Bhaktivinoda Thakur about Shikastaka and also Lila. দেখিয়া ইয়ারণোদয় বৃন্দাদেবী ব্যস্ত হয় কুঞ্জে নানা রব করাইল শুক সারি পাদ্যা শুনি উঠে রাধা নীলমণি সখীগণ দেখি হৃষ্ট হইল. This is explaining the Lila, what is happening. We will hear about this during Kartik. What Radha and Krishna they are doing during end of night pastimes. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote song, this description. This will help. Sincere servitors of Guru will always discuss these verses, being completely relieved from the influence of material time, space, and so-called deserving or undeserving persons of the world. So those who are on that platform, at least Bhava stage, they have no connection with this material time, space, persons. There's some persons like big persons, rich or famous, or even demigods or anyone. they have no connection with anyone of this. They are only immersed in Radha Krishna Lila, in transcendental realm. And they are relishing these verses of Shikastaka and Lila and this, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur showed in this book. And Prabhupada, he said, I observed him, how he was doing this, just to give us example how to worship on that platform. So this is the introduction to this book of Bhaktivinoda Thakur Bhajan Rahasya. It was written in Kanpur, 13th November 1927. Harijana Kinkar means servant of the associates of Sri Hari, thus Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. So our Gurudev told we should deeply meditate on this, what he wanted to say. We have to understand what is Archan, what is Bhajan, and those who are on that platform, when they will serve Ashtakali Lila from their real self whole time, that is called Bhajan in this context, and this is what is explained in this book. And along with that also provision for Archan, because they will also do Archan but with different bhav, with different qualification. So tomorrow we will go through some verses of this Bhajan Rahasya in Bengali by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, so that we become acquainted and prepared for what we will practice during Kartik month. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol, 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 Hari Bol. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gaurango Gandharvika Giridhari Ji ki Jai. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gaurango Shishi Radha Madan Mohan Panchatatatmak Shri Gaura Hari ki Jai. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gaurango Shishi Radha Nayananath Ji ki Jai. Jai Shri Gaura Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai. Jai Shri Jagannath Dev ki Jai. Jai Patit Pavan Shila Gurudev ki Jai. Jai Shila Parang Gurudev ki Jai. Jai Shila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Shri Rupanuga Gurubari ki Jai. Jai Shri Panchatattva Prabhu ki Jai. Jai Shri Brinda Devi Tulsi Devi ki Jai. जय सार्वविघ्न विनाशनकारी श्री नृसिंहदेव की जय। जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। जय समागत भक्त वृंद की जय। जय श्री भजन रहस्य की जय। जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि बोल। थैंक यू ऑल। दंडवत प्रणाम। हरि बोल।